Wonder if this is working. Are you able to hear me now? Right there.
All right. Thank you very much, folks, for sticking around. Thank you so much. Again, we're going to be looking at how to pass math in the secondary school, in high school. All right, Sasha, so tell us a little bit about your background in math and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am somebody who loves math. I have been a teacher of math for almost 20, I'm thinking almost 20 years, but it's more than 20 years, for 21 years. I started teaching in the year 2000, and mathematics is something that I enjoy. It's my life. And I'm thinking it's because I have always had wonderful teachers at the prep school or primary school level, whatever you may want to call it. I had a wonderful teacher. I remember my first teacher was my grandmother. She was great with figures. And then I had a teacher by the name of Mrs. Radlin. And then I met Mrs. Townsend. And all the students who would pass through the hands of Mrs. Townsend did exceptionally well at mathematics. And I think that gave me the kind of foundation I needed to be able to build later on. Because when I went to high school, I met this lady by the name of Lana Patterson. And she was my math teacher for quite a few years at Titchfield. And Mrs. Patterson, she was the kind of person who she would encourage you to do well, and she would push you. Once she found that little thing in you, she would push you. And I think I am the person I am today because of those great teachers.
Wow. You know, you never know the influence that you're casting on someone. And she said it really nicely. She said it really, really nicely. Kudos to all those guys. And I'm quite sure that your students are saying the same kinds of things about you. And so I would like to ask you, what would you say is one of the biggest problems that students face why they may not do as well in math class or in math in general?
It boils down to two things for me. One, they don't believe in themselves. And two, they are cultured not to do well in math. And when I say that they are cultured not to do well in math, you will go just about anywhere, and quite often you'll hear somebody say, I can't do math. My mother never did math. My father never did math. Nobody in my family was ever good at math. And because of that, they believe that, okay, I am not supposed to do well at math. And everywhere in society, you'll hear people say math is hard. So we have been cultured to have this belief that math is hard. Math is simply hard to a lot of people just because they have said to themselves, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be. And you know, the words that we speak through our mouths, it's so powerful, and we often take it for granted.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. Thank you, Ms. Anderson. So, in case you did not catch it, your teacher plays a very important role. And remember, your brain is one of your most powerful resources. The words you utter are very powerful. Be careful. Be careful. We heard it from Ms. Anderson. So, generally, how can a struggling student do well in math? How can they do it? Yes,
it's all about practice. It's all about, you know, the things that I love I'm going to spend time with them or on them. So if you spend time doing mathematics, you will master it. Anything that you spend time doing, you will end up mastering that. And we have to see, I usually tell my students, imagine you just meeting the guys meeting a girl, or, the girl meeting a guy, and, they want to let's say that they like the other party. You're going to want to spend time with that person. You're going to want to get to know that person, and you're going to want to build a relationship. Now, math works the same way. You've got to spend time with it. You've got to build that connection. It is something that it's really jealous. And when I say it's jealous, it means it takes your time. It demands your time. Once you spend time with it, once you practice constantly, every day, then you will succeed at math.
Yes, thank you again. Another powerful answer. We know from what you've said that if you love math, math will love you too. And so, how can a student do well in the virtual in-person class who is taking math even at this time?
The coronavirus has taught us that, listen, nothing is ever going to be the same again. We have, for years, we think that, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be, and this is how things will always be. But COVID has said to us, no, we've got to change stuff. And the virtual classroom, the problem that we have is that people want to have the classroom online just as they would face-to-face. Now, success in the online space means that the student must take more responsibility for what he or she is going to do. Yes, the teacher is there, but the teacher is there just as a guide, a facilitator. The teacher will guide you through, but that person is not physically over you to say to you, okay, do this, do that. You must take some of that responsibility now. And that is what the online system is saying to us. I am responsible for my own learning. It's not the teacher. If I want to do well, I must take that responsibility. So yes, in the virtual space, the teacher can guide you. And of course, we have access to far more things that we can actually just put in the online classroom now, as opposed to when we were standing in front of the whiteboard or the blackboard and just writing. But it makes no difference for a teacher to put all this stuff inside the classroom if the student is not going to spend the time to go through the material that's there. And even when the student is not in that physical space, the material is, once it's posted, it's there. So they can always go back, review what was done, and of course, like I said before, spend time with the subject.
Thank you again. Thank you again. Spending time with math. You alluded to it earlier, like a relationship. You nurture it. And we have to do the same with math, and I hope also with the word. You know what I'm talking about, Ms. Anderson?
Definitely.
Those of you who would have seen some of those life skill videos, even on Math CM, would learn some wonderful things, or even reinforce some things like caring for the brain. And so, how about someone who is doing okay? They got the online down. They know their way around, but they're just passing. They're just sitting at that 60 or at that 70. How could they actually improve themselves? What else could they do? What can they do starting even today?
Well, first of all, that student must want to improve those grades, because you might want that student to improve the grades, but the student must want that for themselves. So it's all about having that motivation and that drive to go ahead. And we were never created to be average. You know, we were created so that we can have whatever we want in this world. And when I say whatever we want, that's what it really means, you know. The Creator has given us everything. All we have to do is ask. And I can't ask for just being average. Why should I? So we can, if we want to get ahead, we have to have that drive. And most times, if the student is just settling with a C, 60, 70, without even exerting much effort, if they put in a little bit more, that can move up 75, 80. It's all about the effort and the time that you put in. And, you know, we have different abilities and we have to be cognizant of that. But the fact is that while there is, you know, while we've got the different abilities, if we have somebody who is working really hard and they get a C, and we have somebody who's not doing anything and they get an A, then we must understand that, listen, that C is going to be worth much more than that A. A hard C has more worth than that average A. You didn't do anything for it anyway. You just got it. But the person with that C who tried all that they could and worked really hard and they got the C, that C has value. So I'm not focusing so much on the letter grades. I'm focusing on moving from where you are to another point. That's the most important thing.
Thank you again. My A students, you know yourselves, keep up the good work. And, you know, for those of you who need that extra boost, you heard it one more time. Keep on putting that effort. It will pay off. You see, math is one of these things that is very rewarding. You put so much quality effort in, you get so much quality work out. And those work will be top quality. Those work will actually demonstrate the level of your understanding. And so if you have not as yet subscribed to Math CM, go ahead and do so. You will get videos like this, videos to build your math skills and life skills as well. Go ahead and like, comment, and share. And so, Ms. Anderson, what would you say to a high school student who is frustrated and wanting to forget about math because it's really getting under their skin? Answer this question for me, please.
I would say, don't give up. Nothing in life that's good comes easy. And when you have to work hard for something, you really know the value of it. All you've got to do is try. Keep trying. No matter what, keep trying. And if you need extra help, get extra help. And that's always important. Admit that we need extra help and get the extra help. Sometimes, let's say you might not be comfortable with that teacher, find another teacher, find a tutor. Find a friend who is better at the subject, but get all the help that you can get and never, ever give up.
Yes, I know somebody is really motivated now. And so, why is it so important for students to do well in math? Why is it so important?
There's really only one reason we learn math in school, so that we can be great problem solvers in life. When you master the art of doing math, you learn to solve any problem that you face in real life. And that is the basic of doing math. That's the basic of learning math. Of course, the further up you go, you learn to appreciate some other aspects like engineering, and you'll see those nice architecture, and you say, oh, there is math, that's the hyperbolic function there, but the basic reason for learning math is just to solve problems.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I've seen in an article, and I've cited it in one of my other videos, that the more math you learn, the more employable you will be. And Ms. Anderson said it well. You will become a top-class problem solver. You noticed earlier in this video, we had some technical difficulties with the sound. We didn't give up, even though I had suggested starting over. But after slowing things down and thinking, we realized that, hey, let's give it another go. And we are successful. I hope that that lesson, though may have frustrated you, give you courage to keep on doing what is best. And so, Ms. Anderson, one more time, I know you have prepared a nice offering that begins even next week. Can you tell us about that? I speak about courses.
Well, with the online learning platform now, we have a lot of students feel that they're so frustrated, and they feel that, I can't do this and I can't manage. And with CSEC coming up, CAPE coming up, I thought, what better time than to offer my services? This is something that I love. Math is something that I'm passionate about. It's my life, it's my baby. Wherever I go, I always end up back in math. And the funny thing, not to divert a little, but I tell you how I got in math. The funny thing is that my real love was in IT. And I started in information science. But when I went to college, I had to do two options. And I ended up doing mathematics because it was easy to do. So I had to pick something. I ended up picking math. The funny thing is that after college, I have, since college, I've never actually gotten a job in IT. That was 21 years ago. I've always gotten a job in math. And I've said to myself, well, maybe this is where the need is. And I think I have this way with the students. I don't know, we just tend to connect. So my personality helps me to help them. And I said to myself, what better way than to do this, to reach out to them at a time like this? So starting next week, I'll be offering mathematics at the CSEC level, additional math, applied math unit 1 at the CAPE level. And of course, there's a little bit of science in it because I have a degree in environmental science also. So I'm offering environmental science at the CAPE level. And these are areas that students really need help in. And I think that I'll be able to assist them.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There you have a gifted and talented math teacher that is offering some top class service. Do take advantage of this particular offering. And so, are there any questions for me? If you have a question for either myself or for Ms. Anderson, go ahead and put those in the chat. Put them in the chat. Let me check the chat right now and see if there's any such questions. All right. Are there any questions? Well, it was really nice to have you on, Ms. Anderson. It was really nice to hear you and see you do some problem solving, even with words.
Well,
And
it was really
I
nice.
truly appreciate it.
It was really nice of you to invite me here tonight. I really appreciate it. And I am looking forward to working with you later on. Who knows?
Yes, yes. And so, viewers, I'm going to put some related videos in the description below, like the answer to the question, when am I going to use this? Referring to math, and how to be excellent at math. I'll put them in the description below so you can check those out. And feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And so thank you one more time for stopping by. Thank you for making it Math CM tonight. So as always, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.